Cossalter, who's going to be giving us our very first struggling club workshop.
Thank you.
How much time do we want?
Give me 15, 17, 18. Is everyone nice and groggy after lunch? Yeah?
Don't take it personal.
I won't.
You never had questions.
Ray, sound check. Enough? Great. Welcome, everybody. My name is Stefano Cossalter. Just a little bit about myself. I'm well, not to brag or anything, but yeah, I know. I'm a two-time distinguished Toastmaster, a two-time district champion, and most importantly, I've been in struggling clubs. So raise your hand as high as you can. Do you think it's good to make sure your club is good enough? Raise your hand as high as you can. Make sure it's good to make sure it's good enough. Now raise your hand even higher if you think it's good that your club has a sense of excellence. Absolutely. That's where it's supposed to be. Every club has a life cycle, but most clubs are over here. This is good enough. It's not too much work. People come to your meetings, may have a speech or two. You get some guests come in, some members leave, you get members in. It's pretty good. But over there, that's bad. Over here's the struggling club. Now, struggling club, you may have a few members. They come, nobody wants to do anything. They've got executive fatigue. Has anyone had executive fatigue before? It's where you got to do the same job year after year because nobody else wants to do it. And we'll do anything to get out of there. Right here, it's either fold it or go get to here because this is good. But here's where it comes in. What if every club had a sense of excellence to be over there? But it takes effort, right? And it's more easy. It's easier just to say good enough. Now, I'll never forget my first Toastmasters club. It took me a while to get through that first door, but it was amazing. I got there and it was a good club. It was good. There was like 5 to 7 people that would come every meeting. We'd have a speech or two. And then something really cool happened. The next year, the executive asked me to be club president. Yes, I couldn't believe it. I was so honored that they would ask me. Turns out nobody wanted it. But I take it nonetheless. Something strange happened, though. It kind of went a little bit to my head. And I've got this active imagination, so I could just see myself as like the king of my own little kingdom, Burnaby Toasters. And the members were my loyal feudal subjects. And the executives were my advisors. And I had a goal, though. I was going to become a distinguished club. Does everyone know what a distinguished club is? Everybody heard of the Distinguished Club program? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know why we have the Distinguished Club program? Because the Toastmaster gods, they tell us that if we get points in this system, that we're less likely to fold as a club. And they'll reward us with riches in the form of a ribbon for our banner. So I sat with my advisors and I said, where do I find out about this Distinguished Club program? They said, well, there's this ritual that happens twice a year where leaders from all the kingdoms come. and pray to the Toastmaster gods. So that's where I went. And it was so cool. I traveled to a faraway place, Douglas College, and participated in this ritual, the Toastmasters Leadership Institute. And I learned that there just wasn't distinguished. There was presidents distinguished. And I wanted to be the best kingdom in the realm. So I went back to my club, my kingdom, and sat down with my advisors, and I said, how do I become president's distinguished? They said, well, you must go visit the aged wizard who knows how to become president's distinguished. So I took the long journey to the top of the mountain, Starbucks. And there was the grizzled wizard. And I said, my area director, I said, why, sir, how do I become president's distinguished? He said, here. He opens his bag and he pulls out this book of spells. And he gives it to me. He says, fill this out and follow it, and you will become president's distinguished. Can anyone tell me what this book of spells actually is?
Club Success Plan.
Club Success Plan. You've also been to see the wizard. So I did. I followed the Club Success Plan. I whipped those loyal subjects into shape. And next thing you know, people are getting awards. We've got some new members. President's distinguished. And I sit there in front of my club and I have my report, President's distinguished, and I go to show them. And I was just waiting for the praise to be heaped upon me. It never came. I missed something very important. Now, at the Club Success Plan, let me ask you this. How many people have filled out a Club Success Plan for their club? Okay, now keep your hand up if you filled it out, not just for the free pizza. Can anyone tell me why the Toastmaster gods offer you free pizza to do the Club Success Plan?
It's so many pages long.
Partway through.
Yes, it sustains you through all that.
To keep the club healthy.
Yes, the Toastmaster gods know that if they bribe you with pizza, you'll fill out the Club Success Plan, you'll follow it, and you're less likely to fold as a club, and you'll become a strong, successful club. But what happened to me? I followed the Club Success Plan. I got President's Distinguished. But I kind of just filled it out and put it away. What do you have to do? You take that Club Success Plan and you follow it. You take it out every now and then. If you live in Langley and you want to get to Vancouver on the number 1, do you just start the car up, get in the freeway, hit cruise control, and lean back and relax? Yeah. Janice takes the bus, obviously. No. You have to take that wheel and you have to guide your car around the corners. Sometimes there's bumps on the road. Oh, lost a couple members. Key member leaves the club. You got to swerve away. But you keep going. You have to follow the plan if you want to be successful. And I remember I heard about this one kingdom far away. It was called Blue Heron Toastmasters. Far, far away. Pitt Meadows. But I'd heard that this was the greatest kingdom around. And I couldn't figure out why. Why was it? And I got there, and I go to the door, and there's signs pointing me. I was like, I didn't have to try and figure it out. There's someone there shaking my hand, welcoming me in. And I go inside, and everybody's friendly. They sit me down with somebody that I might get along with. And halfway through the meeting, I talked to Andrew. I was like, what is this spell you guys have me under? He says, Stefano, it's called fun. I was perplexed. I didn't know fun and education came hand in hand. I didn't understand it, but it was amazing. That's one great way to find out if you're in a struggling club. Look for a club that's doing well. Go visit and see what they're doing right. Because having a successful club is like having a full bucket of water. My bucket's full. Excellence. Thriving club. But as the year goes on, as it was, you hit little bumps. Whoops, spill some water. You just keep going. Whoop, spill some more water. Next thing you know, half your bucket's gone. So what do you do when you lose half your members? Well, you go to the fountain of promotion and you refill it. But some clubs have other problems that pop up. There's a hole in the bucket. Ooh, there's a big hole. Problem member. Scaring guests away. Ooh, water's going down. Oh, another hole. People aren't recognizing the achievements of others. Oh, another hole. Big hole. Lost my venue. We got to get something else. Soon, it doesn't matter how much water you put in your bucket, it's not going to hold anything. What is the point of filling our bucket with water with so many holes in it? And that's the problem with struggling clubs, is there's so many holes in the bucket, you can't hold any members in. You try, you fill, guests come in, but they're not joining. So we get stuck and we forget, what the heck do we do? Well, there's lots of things we can do. Take, for example, there I was, showing my club how great I had done. And then they started to perform a ritual on me. It was a ritual to figure out what was wrong with the club. Does anyone know what this crazy ritual is called? Moments of truth. Yes, you've had the ritual performed as well. The moments of truth is magical. Not for me, though. I didn't want the moments of truth. I didn't want to hear that I wasn't doing good. I thought I did a great job. I wanted the moments of lies. Make me feel good about myself. But we figured some things out. Number one, I sucked all the fun out of the club. By sacrificing everything, pushing for education, having a heavy hand, it worked against me, and the club suffered. The club wasn't excellent. It was just good enough and heading towards bad. What a powerful lesson for me to learn. That moment changed the way I did everything as a leader. So it was a magical experience for me. The moments of truth was just wonderful. And our pursuit for excellence raised our standards high. Blue Hair and Toastmasters, for example. I remember looking at the agenda. At the top, they had the audacity to put Blue Hair and Toastmasters, always 10 out of 10 Presidents Distinguished. Always 7 out of 7 executive members trained. That's pretty ballsy, isn't it? To put that at the top? So mad. And the next president, he's not going to be the one that gets 6 trained. He's not going to be the one that gets 9 points. Why not set our standards high? Because here's the fact. If we raise the bar really high, people will rise to the expectations. And if we raise the bar low, people will rise to the expectations. So set the bar high, and people will rise to it. Now, when it comes to, do people struggle with? Is it getting members in? Is it fixing the holes in the bucket? Did you guys know that there are two? Well, this is kind of a secret for me. I'm not going to say. Okay, yes, I don't like giving my secrets away because it's what makes me look smart. So I keep these guarded. But is there anyone from District 21 in the room? Uh-oh. You're going to have to leave, man. I'm just kidding. You can say, just don't tell anybody. There are some tools that you could use and that I use to make me look super smart to help struggling clubs. Did you know that there's something that's only available to every single Toastmaster in the world? It's something they give to club coaches, how to rebuild a club. It's right here. It's got about action plans, club programming. What are the problems are you having in your club? Well, look at this. It's got attracting new members. Do you think that would be helpful? Membership, public relations, new club climate. And then this Moments of Truth. This thing's phenomenal. Have you read this Moments of Truth? Membership orientation. Look at this. See, I use this. I'm telling you, I'll get a call from somebody that's got a struggling club. And they'll be like, well, my problem is we're not able to keep members. And I'll be like, well, have you tried doing meetup? Have you tried bringing people in? They're like, yeah, we just can't keep them. And I'm like, oh, okay, hang on a second, I'm getting another call. Okay, yes. Do you recognize member achievement? No. That's something you might want to try. Yeah. Oh, yeah, hang on, I'm getting another call. I look like a genius, it's amazing. But these are the tools you can use. Did anyone here from a corporate club? How's membership? Yeah? Lots of members. Okay, how many members show up? Yeah. There's member retention and growth for corporate clubs. Do you think that would be useful? Has anyone seen it? No? How would you like it if I sent all these tools to you in an email so you could use them for yourself? Would you think that was valuable? Okay, when I say I'm going to send it, I mean Louise is going to send it.
I put it on the website.
And it's great. There's this club coach troubleshooting guide. Wow, where was this when I really needed it? It asks you, are members, do they care whether their club succeeds or fails, or do they sincerely want their club to be successful? So what do? Convince members. It's got advice that tells you what to do. Yes, Toastmaster gods. You see, ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters have been around for 100 years, almost. Do you know why they've been around for 100 years? Because they've done so much studying, so much research. They know when you have thousands of clubs, it becomes a science. It's just a numbers game. You can tell what makes each club successful. You can tell why the successful clubs are successful. And you can actually replicate certain things, make sure you have certain aspects, while still maintaining your club culture. And then where's another place you can go if you want to get tips on building a struggling club? It's where we go to pray to the Toastmaster Club, the gods, right here. Leadership Institute. You go to club officer training. You learn how to do your role, and then you spend time talking about the problems. Man, I used to love coming to these things because I used to have so many problems at my club. I just grab anybody that I knew was successful. I say, how did you do it? Devin, we got a problem member. How did you deal with your problem member? We need guests. How do we get more guests into our club where we never get any guests? How do we do it? How do you do it? So we come together as a group like this, and we do it. Did you know we have a Facebook page for the district? Did you know that if you put a question on there, you'll have lots of people answering you, giving you good advice on what to do? Isn't that incredible? So, ladies and gentlemen, there's lots of tools to use, and we'll send those to you. But the one thing I do ask is don't stay good enough. We didn't join Toastmasters to stay the same, did we? Every one of us came to Toastmasters to become better. So take that sense of excellence and become better. Raise the bar high. Use your tools. Come to these educational sessions, and you'll learn how to overcome the struggling clubs. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you. So let's talk about struggling clubs for a bit. What are some of the issues that people are encountering? Who here belongs to a club they consider struggling? Okay. What are some of the issues that we encounter? Does anyone want to?
Attrition of membership.
Pardon me?
Attrition of membership.
Attrition of membership. The question.
So people are members, but they don't show up all the time, and they don't want to commit, and they sometimes show up, sometimes they don't.
Mm-hmm. Okay. As a matter of fact, it's proven Toastmasters. I'm not sure about maybe Lydia can give me a hand with this. There's about a 40% attrition rate in Toastmasters. Is that about right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that means every year you're losing about 40% of your membership. How do you fix that?
Isn't it more like 6 months every renewal?
What's that?
Isn't it more every renewal than every year? Every time you renew, you lose 40%.
Probably. Oh no, I think it's a per year.
Is it per year?
Do you know something I don't? I don't know.
I just something I noticed in my club.
Okay. Yeah. There's a constant turnover. As I was saying, you're constantly spilling water out of your bucket. So how do you fill your bucket? Turn the tap on. Yes, the tap of promotion.
Membership campaigns.
Membership campaigns, yes. Speechcraft. Who here has done a speechcraft before? Can anyone tell me they have not gained at least one member from a speechcraft? Good question.
Toastmasters boot camp.
That's right. Carol,
Yes.
tell us what a speechcraft is.
Oh my goodness, okay, table topics.
You are a DTM, Carol.
Yes.
Give a hand. Give Carol a hand.
It's a unique 8-week program module which teaches you the fundamentals of the Toastmasters program. And generally you do that at a business or community organization, and that way it benefits the non-Toastmasters. You're presenting it to non-Toastmasters, and it benefits them, and you can get members through that. But another benefit of that is getting out of your comfort zone and going outside your club and doing workshops and presentations to the speechcraft. And it's 8 weeks. You can do it in 4 weeks or 6 weeks, but the Toastmasters Speechcraft Kit is for an 8-week session. I wasn't really scheduled to talk to you about speechcraft, but I brought my business cards here, and if you want me to do a presentation at your club, I would be happy to do that for you. I've done a few presentations already. And ask me why I believe in this program.
Why do you believe in it, Carol?
Why do you believe in this program, Carol? Because almost 24 years ago, I took part into a speechcraft session at my work. It was Maple Ridge Community Credit Union. It was offered through my local Toastmasters club in Maple Ridge. And 3 weeks after I graduated from Speechcraft, I joined Toastmasters. So I'm a Speechcraft graduate.
Thank you, Carol. Speechcraft is an amazing tool. Number one, you get to do an educational award. Am I correct? Towards your ACG, if I'm correct. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, what a great way to knock that off. It's an yes.
Can you use the Speechcraft
Yeah.
program? Because many professional programs have what do they call it? Professional development credits.
Mm-hmm.
So as an accountant, as a lawyer, as a doctor, as an architect, whatever, you have professional development credits. Could they use the Speechcraft certificate as professional educational credit?
Do you know the answer to that?
I think it would, your human resources department would have to.
Or your licensing body probably.
Yeah, they would have
Yeah.
to agree to it. But I can tell you for a fact, I did about 20 Speechcraft sessions for Westminster Savings Credit Union,
Right.
and they were using
Right.
that as
I'm
a
just,
credit.
I was just thinking, because accountants are typically really
Mhm.
boring, and they are, but in like KPMG and all that, those people really need to have some communication seminars, and it would be wonderful to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I was a nurse, like in medicine and
So you need to
architecture.
reach out to KPMG and ask them if they want to do a Speechcraft, and I'll help you with that.
Right.
Good.
Okay, and also, well, I was just thinking about also for the educational bodies before those kids, before they're doing their preceptorships and all that, because that would be the time to hit them.
It gives them credit
Cool.
for taking a speech course, if that's what you mean.
Yeah.
Like a lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good question. And it builds members. Dude, you know one of the greatest marketing things you could do for, say, for a business even? You let someone do something they've never been able to do before, then you upsell them.
Yeah.
You get them excited about something, then you upsell them.
We did it.
Yes. You teach them how to do a speech, and then you upsell them to come to Toastmasters. And by the time they wrote that speech, something they've never been able to do before, and they performed it, they're hungry for more. So yes, Speechcraft is an amazing way to get people into your club. Everyone use Meetup? Yeah, that's another way to bring people in. So what are some other problems that we're having in struggling clubs? Yes.
A superhero who is being worn to the nub because he does everything for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Or she. My superhero is a man.
Okay. Does anyone have an answer for that?
Leaders empower others.
Exactly. Lots of times it's a choice. Yeah. Lots of times it's a choice that people take things on. You know, for me at Burby Toasters, it wasn't it was a choice. I wanted to do everything because I wanted to bask in the glory of everybody's admiration. Didn't work, but that's what I wanted. But empower other people. Ask other people. I know some leaders take things on themselves. They don't want to ask anybody else. Or they feel nobody's going to do it. But then they've never asked.
So that would be how you have to address that person by doing a moment of truth with them, telling them that they need to change their ways a bit.
Exactly. Exactly. But popular opinion helps. Most of the time, nobody says something to people. And that's why they call it the moments of truth. Not everybody wants to hear the truth. I didn't. The moments of lies. Do a moment of truth. Have you had a moment of truth? Okay. My suggestion is to do one. Make everybody participate, and something will get flushed out from that. Yeah. What are some other struggling club issues? Yes.
Executives that don't meet.
Executives that don't meet. Yeah. Does everyone here have executive meetings? Yeah, regular executive meetings? Yeah, I think it's a great thing. So, your president, who's going to talk to the president?
I don't know.
To.
Secretary Treasurer.
I'm sorry?
I'm Secretary Treasurer filling in.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Have you tried asking the president? Okay.
We're in a new year, so definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Send an agenda, call a meeting.
Yeah, you're the secretary. Do it. Just make it happen. No, I think it's a lot of people don't know they're not doing the right thing a lot of times, and that goes back again to the moments of truth. That's one of the things you can bring up there. Does everyone do manual speeches? Anyone doing non-manual speeches?
Meeting pathways.
Yeah. No, just doing a speech without getting credit for something. Do you? Okay. So, Terry, raise your hand. Are you evaluating me for this speech? Yeah. Every speech is a manual speech. Every speech should be a manual speech. What I used to do was I used to not do manual speeches, and I was told to do manual speeches. Someone gave me, says, here's an evaluation form for a competent communicator manual. Instead of just going up and giving a speech, get someone to evaluate you every single time. Not only does it give you another award, it helps your club. It helps your club become good. It helps your club become better. And it motivates other people to do manual speeches as well. Yes?
This is one of my questions about pathways, because I don't think those speeches that you could pull from manuals and eventually get credit, it's not so easy in pathways because it's so prescribed. And I don't think it has, as far as I can see, enough scope for true education sessions. The longer speeches are very few and far between compared to the advanced manuals. I think Toastmasters, unless I've missed it, they are missing that component that encourages more training of the club, I've given speeches that are just out of the goodness of my heart because I know we need them done, and our advanced speakers have already delivered them. And I don't see where I'll get credit in pathways, but they need to be done.
Is there a solution to pathways? Let's ask our guides.
Level 1, speech number 2, speech number 3, speech number 4 can be educational speeches. They're
I know,
5
but
to
it's
7
just
any
7
topic.
minutes. 7 minutes is not.
7 minutes is enough to deliver the education program, which is an overview. I've pushed it to be 8. As you get into level 4 and level 5, you will get longer speeches as you do with the advanced manuals in the traditional program.
I also have a solution for you. If you're doing a workshop and you've got an opening segment where you're giving a 5 to 7 minute speech out of that part, and then you're going into the workshop part of it, just have that 5 to 7 minutes evaluated and count that as your speech. The other thing I'd say is you can actually do 2 paths at the same time. So if you need to go back and do your level 1 speeches and you're ready to launch into the second path, if you're in 2 clubs, you get 2 or more clubs, you'll get a second path for free. Just call headquarters and get that. Then you could be doing technically